Most businesses exhaust their marketing budget before they even reach to the end of the month. Still, they struggle to get leads and sales. Do you know why? Planning. Reason is not always bad marketing but the planning. A global data analytics company Nielsen has reported in multiple studies that large portion of marketing spent globally is either ineffective or inefficient. Do you know what does this mean? The platform you're working on are okay, but the strategies and planning eating you up. Most people think building a marketing budget means checking their pocket and picking a number. So like, we'll spend $5,000 or perhaps $10,000 and split it between Meta and Google. That's not how you plan. That's gonna hurt your pocket so bad. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna show you how to figure out right number to start with, how to split that money across channels the smart way. Here's the myth I wanna destroy first. Spend more to make more. Let me guess. You have heard it. You have probably believed it. I did too. I'm not saying it's completely wrong, but I'm gonna prove it where it's not correct. Let me tell you about a brand, B2C skincare brand. They went to a performance marketing agency with annual budget of roughly about $50,000. They were putting most of it into Meta ads. Sales were okay, not great. Agency said, let's increase the budget. And they agreed. Do you want to know the result? Too bad. Not because ads didn't perform, but because their budget was built on a broken foundation. They had no clarity on three things. What's the actual goal? Brand awareness or direct sales? What stage is the business at? What does it actually cost to acquire a customer in their category? See, the myth about the entire budget is how much instead of what for. You getting my point? This is exactly where a framework comes in. I'll show you in a minute. Now, there's a famous quote from a John Van Maker. He said, half the money I spend on advertisement is wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half. I know what you're thinking right now. Why I'm talking about 1800 when it's already 2026? Yes, that's correct. It's 2026. We have attribution tools, analytic platforms, pixel tracking. Then why brands are still operating like it's 1890? The problem isn't the tools. It's the planning. It's the knowledge. Okay, let's talk about what a real budget actually looks like. There's a few widely used benchmarks. The most cited one, the US Small Business Administration recommends spending 7 to 8% of your gross revenue on marketing. Point to note here, small businesses with revenue under $5 million. But honestly, that's a starting point, not a rule. You know what matters more here? Your business stage. Let's consider the stages in 3 buckets. Bucket 1 is the launch state. You're new, nobody knows you. In this stage, you need to spend more, sometimes 15 to 20% of your revenue, just to build awareness. Here you're buying attention. You're introducing yourself to the internet. Bucket 2 is the growth stage. You have some traction now. You know what's working, what's not, right? At this point, you are spending to scale, typically 10 to 12% of revenue, and you're doubling down on channels. Those are proving out. Bucket 3 is the sustain stage. You are established, you have a loyal customer base, strong organic presence, word of mouth recommendations. Money, right? Here you can pull back up to 5 to 8% and focus on efficiency. But you know what usually most businesses do? They try to use sustain stage. When they are in a launch state, that's where they messed up. So ask me a question here. Within your total budget, how do you split across channels? This is where 7-20-10 framework comes in. And believe me, it's one of the most practical tool out there. 70% goes to proven core channels. The stuff you know works for your audience. Maybe that's Meta ads, Google search, probably SEO content. 20% goes to emerging or experimental channels. Maybe that's YouTube Shorts, creator partnership, WhatsApp marketing, TikTok. Now the remaining 10% add in bold experiments, new platform, influencer collaborations, something you have never tried before. At this point, don't hesitate to go raw. This way, you're never all in on one thing. And you're always learning, which is important, right? Now, there's a real brand that used a version of this model, and the results were kind of insane. Let me walk you through. Okay, we are at the halfway point. I want to make sure you stick with me because the next two sections are going to be real gold digger. But before I head there, do subscribe, shoutotb, and like the video. Okay? So yeah, where are we? I'm about to show you the real brand budget breakdown. And then a strategy that almost nobody talks about. For real, huh? Dollar Shave Club lead growth strategy. What's that? Have you heard about it? Let me tell you about them. What is Dollar Shave Club? It's a razor subscription brand that became famous for selling affordable razors directly to consumers. A viral launch video. Smart, cost-efficient marketing. They didn't outspend big brands. They outsmart them. In 2012, they launched with a single YouTube video. Total expenditure about $4,500 to produce the video, which got approximately 12,000 orders in 48 hours. They were clearly brilliant with execution. But what most people miss is the budget. Logic behind it? They didn't try to be everywhere. They went all in on one channel, one message, one format that their audience actually consumed. Their budget was concentrated, not scattered. The takeaway from Dollar Shave Club isn't make a viral video. It's know your audience deeply enough that $4,500 can do what 4 million couldn't do for a bigger brand moving slower. Budget clarity gives you that precision. Am I correct? Okay. That's the part where no agency wanna know you. Every budget conversation lands on how to spend money. Almost no one's talk about how to protect it. You don't ask them either because you think the guy is already handling so many clients, probably doing it right? But I'll tell you the hidden strategy. 90-day budget review cycle. Most businesses set a marketing budget once a year and don't touch it. Ouch. That's a mistake. Because digital marketing moves in a 90-day windows. Algorithm change, market shift. What was working in January might be dying in March. Season plays a big role in all businesses. Here's a real example. I'll tell you Meta CPM shift in 2023. Multiple D2C brands reported significant CPM increases on Meta. Some upward of 30 to 40% following algorithm shift. Brands that were locked into rigid annual budget couldn't pivot. But on the other hand, brands that had built in a quarterly review clause, they shifted 20% of the Meta spend to create a partnership and kept their CAC stable. That flexibility is built by design, not luck. So here's how I would structure a 90-day budget review. Layer 1, fixed spend, which is non-negotiable. SEO content, email marketing, own channel production. This shouldn't move. Layer 2, performance spend, paid ads. This gets reviewed every 30 days. You're watching CPM, CTR, ROAS. You adjust. Layer 3, experimental spend. That 10% from the 70-20-10 rule. Every quarter, you either scale this up if it's working or kill it and try something new. And this leads to the biggest insight of this entire video, something that completely reframes how you should think about budget. Alright, let's make this real. Here's how to actually build your budget step by step. Step 1, calculate your baseline. Take your monthly or annual revenue, apply your stage percentage, launch 15 to 20%, growth 10 to 12%, sustain 5 to 8%. That's your starting number. Step 2, define your first goal. Are you building awareness, driving direct conversations, or retaining existing customers? Each goal demands a different channel mix. Don't allocate money before you know the goal. Step 3, apply 70-20-10. Split your total across proven, emerging, and experimental channels. Write it down practically. A budget in your head, don't call it budget, okay? Step 4, build in your tracking infrastructure. UTM parameters, Google Analytics 4, a basic attribution model. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. This is non-negotiable. Get it? Step 5. Schedule your 90-day review. As you start, put them in your calendar. Treat them like your board meetings. Look closely what worked and don't think twice to kill what's didn't. And then shift money to what's winning. Simple. Do you know what I want you to leave with? Most people treat marketing budget like a spending plan, but the best marketers treat it like a learning plan. Every rupee, pound or dollar you're spending is buying you data. Data about your customer, about which messages resonates, about which platform converts, about what your brand actually means to someone who doesn't know you yet. The brands that win are not the ones with the biggest budgets. They are the ones who treat their budget as the most intelligent feedback. So for the next time, be ready throughout. Figure out your stage. Apply the right percentage. Use 70-20-10 to split across channels. Review every 90 days and always. Tie every dollar back to your measurable goal. That's it. That's the entire framework. So one last question I have for you. If you had to explain to someone right now exactly why you're spending your marketing budget the way you are, could you? If the answer is no, that's where you need to start. Your budget is not just a finance document. It's more of strategy document. A statement you believe what will work and why. Treat it that way. Alright? If this gives you clarity, drop a comment below. Tell me what stage your business is at right now. Launch, growth or sustain. Stay connected. Signing off, Swati Bindhamodi, founder of Shout Out of the Box. Till I drop our next video, you, my lovely people, keep shouting out of the box. Namaskar.